Hi, Ed.
Hello, Holly Beadell.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm all right, thank you. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm okay, you know. Nice day.
It's nice and sunny outside.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Okay, so today we are at full B Side.
the B-cast.
No, it is. We're B Side cast. Yes.
B-cast.
B-cast. So we have the full team here, minus our free intern, Oliver, who is currently at his real job, and not his internship that we like to call it. So we have with us Rebecca Beadell.
Hello.
Woo, yeah.
Hello,
woo,
hello.
Yeah, woo, yeah. So Rebecca.
Nice delay there.
Thank you. Who are you?
I am Rebecca Beadell. I am married to you,
Yes.
in case you forgot.
Yes.
I'm a graphic designer and I design on my own, but I work with you.
I have to say though, I'm not going to stop it, but why on earth is your microphone positioned like that?
Is it wrong?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a graphic designer.
know,
What do you expect? Hang on.
I'm kind of come round.
Am I supposed to do this?
Yeah, it's supposed to, so we can
Oh,
see it.
hoping to hide the double chin.
Oh. Oh, I can't really see your face. Like these. Why is your microphone like that? Okay, yeah, that's better. You just need to
It
speak.
won't stay up there, though,
Oh,
so
okay.
Oh,
I
that's right.
must.
See, look, this is
Oh,
the
okay.
problem I was having the other week.
Well, I
with
can
my
adjust it, but it's difficult.
Okay, never mind.
It's all right.
I missed all that. So who are you? Except being my wife.
I'm your wife, Rebecca Beadell. I live at... No, I'm joking. I'm a graphic designer.
Age, sex, location.
Yeah.
I'm a graphic designer. I'm currently studying at UCA, but I work freelance and I work freelance for you as well.
So we thought we'd take it down a different avenue. We're still going to obviously talk music and why we do what we do and how we do what we do and how we involve Becca in that. Adjusting.
Foul.
So we're just... Yes, so we'll still be talking music, but yes.
Another aspect.
Another
Because
aspect.
design is important.
Yes. So what do you actually do at B Side?
Oh, so on a regular basis.
On a regular basis. So we've got like a client in. A client
So-
says that I want to do a X, Y, and Z.
So ordinarily.
It's like interviewing my wife. It's weird.
Thank you for the over explanation
Sorry.
of that statement. Ordinarily, if someone comes in and wants to do their live audio and live video, I take responsibility for the video recording. If anyone bolts on some photography, I'm your gal. I take them off and do some photography with them. But I also do actual graphic design work. So posters.
So everything you basically see on the website and
Well, I did do the website, yes.
Yes.
It's a very nice looking website.
Yes,
Thank you
it
very
is,
much,
isn't it?
Ed.
Very professional.
I can
Thank
do
you.
it.
So yeah, I do posters and single artwork and album art and things like that, and sometimes some of that crosses over with you.
Splendid. Ed, have you got any questions regarding that, or are you silent? Mute.
Can I ask my question, the one that we did in the first take? What is it like?
Yeah, go on.
What is it like working with someone that you were married to?
Absolutely fine, because we get on well as a team. Actually,
That's nice.
I don't think I've ever forgotten myself and become unprofessional. I don't think I've ever had a moment where I just thought, oh, I need to hug my wife, because we're busy, we're working, and I'm worried about putting the client first, not whether my wife is there. I live with her, so it's not a big deal to me to not, be separate from her essentially for a couple of hours at a time. I can cope.
I mean, the session... Sorry, Ed, cut you off. Cut you off. You go.
I think it's also also have to remember your specific role, talking to clients and recording them. I guess you wouldn't have, if you wanted to get a quick smooch or some affection, you wouldn't really have the time to.
I think all the quick smooching and affection kind of ends when you get married. In a public setting anyway, let alone a professional one. But yeah, no, what we do is quite removed from each other in the sense that you're usually in the control room or behind,
I'm with Ed,
or behind the
basically.
desk in the same room.
Holly's with me.
You're more likely to be able to give Ed a smooch than me.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's quite full on because you have to be always behind that camera, always ready to.
And it weighs a
Because
ton.
it's quite heavy at times. Yeah.
Ed
but
held it once and never again.
yeah. No, Ed doesn't like hard work.
Excuse me, it's very hard. Positioning microphones in a certain way, adjusting some levels, and then doing some
Pressing R.
Yes.
pressing R.
Yes.
Just
and
not
then pressing spacebar to stop.
Yes.
not physical work. You don't like
Sometimes
physical
we
work.
move amps and like
Yeah,
the
no,
drum
you
kit
do
that
enough.
we did on Sunday was quite
Not
heavy.
saying you don't do anything, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just constantly behind the camera, making sure that I don't get distracted by the people around me and the people I work with, and miss a take. Because if you miss a take, it's going to be the best one.
Well, it's nice.
Probably.
Yeah. It's nice sometimes. Ollie comes down.
Mm-hmm. Our intern.
Yeah, and there's some.
Our volunteer.
Our
actually.
volunteer. Yeah, volunteer. Intern.
Volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer.
He's not an intern. He's volunteer.
He's a volunteer.
He's a
Sorry,
volunteer.
Becca. Sorry.
And it's nice to see that he is able to record as well. It's quite nice, actually.
Because we've done multiple
Yes, we've done
cameras before, haven't
Yeah.
we? With the loudmouth, didn't we?
He did photography for a while, so he's quite natural behind a camera. So it is handy to have.
Not in front of. No.
It is
Yeah.
quite. It,
I'm
it is
sorry,
quite
my
handy
darling,
to
yes,
have
you
an
are.
extra pair of hands
Yeah.
when you want, because usually if we do multiple angles, we'd have one static and one moving angle.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to incorporate two moving angles sometimes.
Yes.
So what
X and Y.
X and Y, X and Y, X and Y. Plugins. What?
Parallel compression.
It's all the same. Sorry. That's an impression of you.
Am I allowed to swear in this podcast?
You swore on the other one, so why not this one?
Okay. It's the same old bullshit.
Standard wear and tear.
Standard wear and
Wear and
tear.
tear.
So for our how did it start? Because I haven't actually gone. It says on the website, but there's quite a lot of information on the website.
There is quite a lot,
and not a lot of
information on the
people.
website.
You know, I don't read.
No, a lot.
Things,
A lot of the time, people are looking for quick access to the relevant information to them, which is why we hide all of the reams of information away in about us pages and things like that, so that if you want to look at it, you can. But you're in no way obliged to. You can still find the information quite quickly. I think it's nice to have a lot of information on there, because some people who are interested in how it started, they want to know. You know, it should be available to them without having to ask the question.
But that's the question I'm asking you.
Right.
How did we start it?
How did we start B Side?
Yes, because we do know, but you know why.
I don't know.
I want to work. You do right. I'm going to see. Let's see the different scenarios. How do you think why we started it and how we started it?
So you.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
What's wrong
There's
with
some
me?
water there.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Sorry. How do you think we started B Side?
So B Side started as just Holly Beadell, with copious assistance from Ed. And it started because originally you were recording a band, and they were quite new to studio recording, traditional studio recording, which obviously you still offer. But for you, and for them in particular, it worked much smoother to incorporate something that is a bit more reminiscent of how they would perform together on a stage. It's a lot less nerve-wracking if you're used to performing as a group, to be able to bounce the energy off of each other. It's a lot more comfortable, I would say, especially for kind of newer artists. So that kind of developed into lifestyle recording, and then I got involved after helping you copiously with behind the scenes. I got involved on the front line with video recording, because we quickly realised that actually the majority of people doing this, unless very specifically you're looking to put out a lifestyle EP or a lifestyle cover of a song or that kind of thing, a lot of the time you're going to want a video of it to show for social media promotion, show reels for pubs, all these things that make it a little bit more engaging. And I'd say probably the majority of people that come to us for live stuff do want a video out of it. And that's kind of how the ball got rolling, really. That's how I see it anyway.
Ed's probably completely different. What do you remember?
Well, Holly, we've you and I have been recording things together for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like the first proper gig of recording that you did was with that new band that your name was put forward as someone to record them. And that was one of the first, I guess, proper experiences of recording someone that reached out to us or whatever.
In the unique way that you do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we found it very interesting, and I don't know, you thought, oh, this would be quite nice to make this a service for people.
And I think the key point was that you're always and always have been, and I think something that I'm quite conscious of, because obviously living with you, we have these discussions quite regularly, is that when you were doing your tour a few years back now, and when you were releasing your album and recording your album, the
Jukebox
costs
nights.
really
Jukebox
stack
nights.
up
A
very
lot of
quickly.
money.
Big it up, big it up.
And
It's not out anymore.
while, you know,
Oh,
Sorry, Becca.
sorry.
with indie musicians particularly, there's not a huge amount of affordable recording. I mean, recording isn't a cheap process. It's not something you could do for a $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be probably doing it for a
$5
$5 an hour.
Mm.
It is an expensive process, and venues and recording spaces are expensive inherently, but there are things that you can do to reduce those costs, and offering what you offer, especially on the live side. I mean, even your studio recording, I would say, is more reasonable than most.
Ours is probably cheaper.
I don't think I've seen
that
anyone
you
cheaper
would
than you.
Like, because we did a lot of like is it called market research?
Yeah.
Right, we googled like practically loads of places near us, and then around London, and we thought,
I mean, we didn't even bother looking at London,
well,
because
London
we knew the
it'd
jump,
be
the price would
astronomical,
just
wouldn't it?
jump. But
Well, I guess it's hard to judge how much you'd charge for your services.
I mean,
or
what we
our
charge for our services is essentially the cost of the room,
Yeah.
Yep.
the cost of the space, and a small wage on the top. Sometimes there's not enough money in a job for me to be paid. Sometimes there's not enough money in the job for Holly to be paid. But at the end of the day, what the main concern for you is providing something that's affordable and reasonable for, you know, indie musicians. Because nowadays, all you've got is Spotify and Apple Music, and everyone's streaming everything. But you get what? 0.0002, don't quote me on that, but
there's not
pence
a lot.
per hour.
There's not a lot.
Sorry, per song, per stream. And that doesn't add up very quickly unless you're Beyonce.
What was it? The PR, my PRS came in, and bearing in mind there's been no live gigs like at all, right? I got 15 quid.
Very proud of that, actually.
Very proud of that. So
Well done,
from my PRS, I got 15
I mean, you haven't
quid.
released anything since Jukebox Night, so that was
No.
a good few years ago.
But
But
that's all I've got.
because that's not your focus at the moment. But
No.
But that's my
to
point.
demonstrate.
Yeah, my point being that to demonstrate that you. So if you're willing to spend the money at a reasonable price to get like an audio and video, then that's probably the best way to go, in my personal opinion, than worry about a massive studio recording. I mean, we
there
still
are
offer
certain
the
things
service,
that-
but
Yes.
there are certain things that warrant studio recording. But I think the important thing is to recognise that within the industry that's really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously because there are high costs, but with those high costs, there are high profits in there somewhere for
I think-
someone, and we're not about that.
No, we're not about that.
I think there's another point to mention which we haven't really touched on that much.
Go on, Ed.
Obviously, we're all we're young, professionally minded, friendly people. So these new age musicians or bands who may feel quite submissive in the eyes of big studios and established for like over 50 years experience and all sorts of things, because we're more down to earth and that they're we're fresh in uni and our services cater towards those types of people because
I mean, I think you're right in saying that we have two types of client. We have young clients and we have older clients. We
Like
never
more
have
established
yeah,
cover bands.
yeah.
that
We never have a middle range. We always have
Yeah.
an A and a C. We never have a B, if that makes sense. But I prefer it
not
like
just
that.
in age, but when we talk about young and old, we talk about kind of not people's ages, but more established.
Yes.
So kind of your fresher
Mm.
musicians
Well, yeah.
and your seasoned musicians.
Yeah.
Well, we're musicians. We don't need a B. We just need A and C because that's just X and Y.
X and Y. X and Y. So we get back to graphic
So yeah,
design.
shall we talk about some graphic
Sorry,
design
sorry.
before this turns into a personal advertisement?
Yeah, well, it should because
B Side
B-side
recording.
recording. Oh, you okay?
Sorry,
Oh,
Corona.
Corona.
phlegm in my
Oh.
mouth.
Let's not advertise that. Ugh.
What is your pet peeve? And it is a pet peeve, okay? On musicians designing posters,
I've just been reminded of something.
EPs, albums, anything to do with nothing that they should be touching. Basically,
I
And
don't have a pet.
personal. That's my pet peeve. But it's what do you think?
You're quite
See-
biased with this, Holly. You sound quite.
I am. I get upset
think,
about it.
I think Holly's kind of position comes from that she's been very fortunate to live with a graphic designer. So her design, she can always hand over to me. It's not a pet peeve for me because I think there are situations in which, let's be honest, if you're not making much from streaming or you're not making much from live gigs at the moment, you might not have a budget for graphic design. There is something to be said. I understand where you're coming from about
just fling your thing
over
over.
back. It's a fiddle thing.
Yeah, go on.
Thank you. There is something to be said. I can understand where you're coming from in that, if you're a band, you're a specialist in your field. Music is your field.
Yeah.
And
So-
if you want to be at the top of your field, having a specialist in
My tummy.
the field
Sorry.
that plays into yours is probably a good idea. With that said, not everyone can afford that. Not everyone has the time for it as well if things are tight turnaround. But what I would say is that there are a lot of simple mistakes that musicians generally tend to make when they're designing their own stuff. So maybe we'll go through a few of those and
Yeah.
give you some pointers if you are in a position where you need to do it yourself. But I think there are many scenarios in which you can find very affordable graphic design help. The simplest being finding student pages.
Yeah.
And, if you're posting on a student page and you're offering
Can
to
I-
pay
can-
something silly like £5 for it,
Can I also ask?
it will go a
can I
lot
also-
further than...
Can I also say this?
No, you've just
If you're-
asked her a question. You can't
No,
interrupt
just-
her.
yeah,
just to
interrupt me,
clarify,
I'm used to it.
because she's
Carry
because
on.
she said on student pages. This does not mean posting on a
I was getting
music. Okay.
So what I mean by
Sorry.
posting on student pages is posting on university pages, freshers pages and that kind of thing that you can access for universities that have graphic design courses, that have design courses. Finding the people that need to see your post rather than posting on, for example, because you go to ACM, if you post on the ACM page, all you're going to receive, there are no designers at ACM. all you'll receive is other musicians who are trying to make it work too. And I'm sure some of them have got some secondary skills in that, but you'll receive a higher quality in anything in life if you go direct to the people who are specialising in
source. It.
Yes. But I mean, for me as a student, if someone turned around to me and said at that time, look, this is my situation. I can't afford to pay you very much, but I want to pay you for your services because I think you deserve to be paid, but I can only afford to pay you £10. Okay, £10 is pittance. But £10 is a drink. It's, you know, it's something, and it's a notion to show that you're willing and you appreciate the person that's doing this for you.